He's a perfect guy to take him out too. He took Ngannou out. Why would he not take Jake Paul out? And for him, he probably make more money fighting Jake Paul than he will fighting anybody else that he can fight right now. So why would he not do it? I mean, not that he needs the money right now anyway, but if he's going to do something, if he want to get a good win to put him back on the scene, that's a perfect win. You get a lot of money doing it.
I tell you what, I say to AJ, if this goes past 5 rounds, everybody's gonna be having a go at you because you can't go past 5 rounds with this kid. He has to go past 1 round or 2 rounds. Past beyond 4 or 5 rounds, you know, people are gonna be doubting you as a fighter himself.
Jake Paul cannot go 6 minutes with Anthony Joshua. It's just not gonna happen. You're talking about a man who starched Klitschko.
Roy Jones Jr. talks about the Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua fight and says Joshua will easily beat Paul. He also says the fight brings excitement, tension, and huge money to boxing. Roy believes the event helps the sport grow, and that the big payouts benefit.
I'm going to change subjects just a little bit here, and Anthony Joshua, there's rumours circulating he could be fighting Jake Paul next. 1, do you think it's good for boxing, and 2, do you think the fight will happen?
I think it's great for boxing. I think the fight will happen. AJ is 1-0 against these guys that come in to these boxing careers late. So why not? He's a perfect guy to take him out too. He took Ngannou out. Why would he not take Jake Paul out? And for him, he probably make more money fighting Jake Paul than he will fighting anybody else that he can fight right now. So why would he not do it? I mean, not that he needs the money right now anyway, but if he's going to do something, if you want to get a good win to put him back on the scene.
Eric Chisora looks at the situation very differently. For him, this fight is not about competition. It's about business. He says fans shouldn't treat it like a dangerous war or a career-defining moment. Instead, it's a big chance for everyone involved to make huge money with little risk. Chisora says Joshua, Hearn, Paul, and the promoters will all earn massive amounts. In his view, critics aren't angry because the fight is bad. They're angry because the people in it are making life-changing money. He believes jealousy, not tradition, is driving.
AJ against Jake Paul. What sort of gulf do you expect to see?
Listen, we are in the game of entertainment. Either entertainment in the ring or on the football pitch, it don't matter. It's called entertainment. People are going to buy tickets to go watch Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua fight. You know, we're all entertainers, either way. So I'm happy. I'm so happy for AJ because he's doing this for himself. And you have to understand, you have to give so much respect to Jake Paul. You know, whatever he says, he makes it happen. You know, before he was like he wants to fight Anthony Joshua and people were laughing at him. And then suddenly it's happened and people are like, wow, what's going on here? You know, so kudos to that kid, man. He's very good at promoting everything he does.
Derek, do you reckon there's a bit of jealousy from other boxers and even like pundits flying around as well? Because even since it's been announced last night and today...
I know the biggest jealousy pundit you guys have in that is Simon Jordan. I'm telling you right now, Simon Jordan right now, he must be suffering inside and out right now because he knows Eddie's making money, Anthony Josh's making money. So he is dying right now, Simon Jordan.
Look, Derek, and I know you say it's entertainment and there'll be a massive audience, but is there an element of danger as well? Look, AJ's a former world champion, and this is a guy, you know, the best he's been in with is Tommy Fury.
Listen, he don't really care. You know, in the boxing ring, it's the only place you can murder somebody and not go to jail. So, kudos to that. So if he gets beaten up and something happens, it's part of the game.
Well, I'm not sure that's a game that people will want to see, though.
Is it a real fight, though? Is this going to be a proper fight? You will know more than most.
Mate, let me tell you something. From how much they're getting paid, about much 177 million, whatever, and they're splitting it down the middle. So I hope it's not a game because I want to see some blood. I want to see somebody's teeth falling out. So I told Anthony...
The discussion around Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua has become one of the most surprising topics in boxing. Abdullah Mason gave a balanced view. Instead of calling the fight a joke, he says, Jake Paul has gained enough skill and discipline to make it somewhat competitive. Paul has trained seriously for years, fought experienced opponents, and improved step by step. Mason isn't claiming Paul will beat Joshua, but he says fans shouldn't dismiss the work Paul has put in. This challenges boxing purists. Since Joshua is a former unified heavyweight champion, Olympic gold medalist, and one of the most technical heavyweights of the past decade.
Does that surprise you? Is that the first you've heard of it?
That's the first I've heard of it. That's surprising to me.
Confirmed, 3 minute, eight rounds.
3 minute, 8 rounds?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just your take on it, just seeing Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua in a heavyweight fight.
I mean, I guess they're doing what's best for them, you know. So I feel like, you know, I don't got too much to say on it.
I asked you before when Tank was originally scheduled to face him, if you'd watch it, you said you would. But is this more of a competitive challenge for Jake, do you see, because of a natural weight between them being a lot closer?
Oh, this is definitely more of a competitive challenge for them. So I'm proud.
Promoter Frank Warren agreed in his own way. He said that even with all the complaints, everyone will still watch the fight. His honesty shows that even the loudest critics won't be able to look away. Warren also said Jake Paul has faced stronger and more skilled opponents over time. To him, the matchup isn't disrespectful. It reflects how modern boxing mixes entertainment, worldwide attention, and big money with traditional fights. His support shows the sport no longer sees. Paul is an outsider, but is part of the system.
Well, what I think is that people will buy it. They'll watch it. And Netflix have bought it. And they're expecting to get big numbers. They've had big numbers for his last 2 fights. He's a major, major attraction for whatever reason. But he's a licensed boxer. He trains, he works as a fighter. I'll take my hat off to him for all of that. He's not a heavyweight, and he's stepping in with, people have criticised some of his opponents in the past, but he's stepping up to the plate.
Can't criticise this one, I suppose.
He's gone from one extreme to the other. He's fighting a guy, two-time world champion, as somebody who's a natural heavyweight. I know there's a weight clause thing on there, but I don't think that will make a lot of difference to AJ. And he's also a gold medalist. I think it's he's a massive favourite, AJ, for this fight. He's getting very, very well paid for it. And people will buy it. You'll buy it because it's a road crash.
He is a massive favourite. The bookies only have him at 1-10 and 1-4 to get the stoppage. Is that a bit mad to you?
I mean, look, you've seen AJ. You see what he's done with Ngannou.
Yeah, Ngannou and Jake Paul are two very.
And Ngannou's a natural heavyweight.
Yeah, I just thought those odds seemed a little bit, I suppose,
skinny.
Yeah. Is it disrespectful to the integrity of boxing?
No, because it's you're asking a question that you know the answer to, as does most people in the industry. So it is what it is. It's a pure money making venture with a guy that's AJ doesn't mean too much in America. Jake Paul does. AJ's ventures into America didn't go down too well, did it? So Jake Paul does, though, and he's got a massive following, and that's why he's on the A side.
Former heavyweight champion David Haye gave a very serious warning. He said fighting Joshua could be so dangerous that it might be the last day of Jake Paul's life. Haye pointed out the massive physical difference between them. Joshua's size, power, experience, and athletic background are far beyond anything Paul has faced. Joshua has knocked out top heavyweights, while Paul has mostly fought smaller or older opponents. Haye believes the gap is so big, the fight shouldn't even be considered competitive. For him, it's a mismatch in both skill and safety. His warning shows how dangerous a real heavyweight punch can be.
Paul is going to get in a ring in a boxing match, boxing gloves, to mix it with one of the most dangerous heavyweights on the planet, someone who is Olympic gold medalist, won the heavyweight championship twice. Although he lost his last fight against a very good Daniel Dubois, he's a top 10 heavyweight on the planet versus internet sensation, someone who's a latecomer to boxing and has boxed at a very moderate level. I'm talking domestic level. And he lost to Tommy Fury, for instance. And Tommy Fury, who he lost to, versus Anthony Joshua, they're two completely different sports. So I commend Jake Paul for putting himself in harm's way, because boxing is a dangerous game. People have died in the ring. People have been seriously injured, maimed. And he believes in himself enough to do it on a massive scale, because it's not about the money. He's got enough money. This is him wanting to push the boundaries of reality. He's manifested an amazing life for himself. He's a superstar. And I think he wants to try and do the unthinkable. He wants to. It's an insane challenge he's put himself up for, but you've got to give him credit.
You say an insane challenge. You've described it before as Jake Paul being a cat versus Anthony Joshua's lion.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not equally matched on any sense, are they?
There's not one element of their boxing skill set that Jake Paul can come 15, 20% in regards to Anthony Joshua. He's a completely different specimen. Look, you'll see what it looks like when they stand next to each other. And Anthony Joshua, he's not a bodybuilder,
Journalist Gareth A. Davis gave one of the most thoughtful breakdowns. He said the fight is not a bad move for Joshua. If Joshua wants a big showdown with Tyson Fury next year, he needs activity, rhythm, grit, and confidence. Things he has missed because of long breaks and unexpected losses. Davis says Jake Paul could be a huge money warm-up fight, helping Joshua stay sharp without the risk of facing top contenders. Usually tune-up fights don't make much money, but this one could be one of Joshua's biggest paydays. That's why Davis believes the fight makes perfect sense. It keeps Joshua active, draws global attention, brings massive money, and helps set up the future Fury fight.
Above Jake Paul and a weight division above him. I think it's irresponsible to let those two in a ring together in a proper boxing match. That's my view. It doesn't damage his bank balance, but if he earns 70 million US dollars for this, are we really going to see him get up for a fight with Tyson Fury, which is being talked about for next September? I understand that fight isn't signed yet. There's still a warm-up fight. I don't blame Eddie Hearn, as I said to him. I would have taken that fight if I was in the same situation. I don't blame him taking this as a second warm-up fight. But the problem for Anthony Joshua, if he doesn't do what he did to Francis Ngannou in those 2 rounds in Riyadh and finish him conclusively, he's going to be pilloried for it. If this fight stretches more than 2 or 3 rounds and he hasn't got Jake Paul out there, he will get booed and hammered over it. So there is pressure on him to go in there. And if he gets caught or clipped, which I've heard Frank Warren talking about that today, if he gets caught, the arena's going to erupt if Jake Paul lands a punch, So it's a very peculiar matchup. Yes, it's one I'm going to watch and I'm going to go to. I'm in Miami this week anyway for BKB 48. Lucas Brown's fighting Gustavo Trujillo with the bare fists for the heavyweight title in BKB. Where's the press conference on Friday? In Miami for Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua. They say the Lord works in mysterious ways. I'm over there. So it's a very weird one, but this is where we are. Jake Paul's unique. I'm interested in your take on it, Chris.
Yeah, I would start with the Jake Paul side of it.
Trainer Tund. Ajay defended Joshua against people criticizing him for considering Jake Paul. Ajay questioned why fans attack Joshua no matter what he does, facing elite fighters or taking a different kind of payday. He said boxing is full of contradictions. Fans want big fights, knockouts, entertainment, and consistency, but then complain when fighters take opportunities that provide exactly that. Ajay says the criticism is emotional, not logical. From a business point of view, the matchup brings attention, money, and new fans into the sport, which helps boxing grow.
Ngannou into like that, but you can't stop Jake into. Has he got a short amount of time to get this job done?
This fight is not going on his record, right?
I believe it will.
This fight is going on his actual record.
I mean, some details are still unconfirmed, but I believe this is not an exhibition. This is a fight.
Well, listen, WWE is not real. And if we are to be, sensible about this whole thing, Jake Paul cannot go 6 minutes with Anthony Joshua. It's just not going to happen. You're talking about a man who starched Klitschko. Come on. It's like, this is AJ we're talking about. You know, as far as I'm concerned, AJ can walk in there with one leg and one arm and still win the fight. I'm not going to be led to believe that Jake Paul it has a chance against Anthony Joshua, although he is improved as a fighter. You know, he cannot be looked on as just a a gimmick fighter. Now he's actually got boxing skills and he's done very well thus far. But I think Anthony Joshua is a step too far, and I'm not expecting that fight to go more than a couple of rounds.
The major twist happened when the idea of putting the fight on Netflix came up. At first, Joshua dismissed it completely, saying he couldn't fight on Netflix. Many thought the rumor was dead, but everything changed when the money offer became incredibly huge. Joshua has had long layoffs, tough losses, and rebuilding periods. A fight like this, big money, huge exposure, and low risk compared to elite opponents, became very appealing. Slowly, what seemed impossible started
happen because for the moment, AJ can't fight on Netflix. But since then, the money has obviously really talked and has made the fight happen. While also, it's been a case of brilliant timing. I think the Paul camp is willing to take this fight now because they probably know they won't get the chance again for at least 12 months. Joshua has been out of the ring for a little while now. The last time we saw him in there was in September of last year, where he got knocked out by then IBF champion Daniel Dubois. His inevitable return has since been delayed because of several issues, yet Eddie Hearn wanted to get AJ back in the ring because of a rumored Fury fight. That seems to be on the horizon for late next year. Turkey has said Joshua will return to Saudi in February on a show there, and hopefully that will build.
Conversation about Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua is not just about skill. It shows what modern boxing values, what fans expect, and how entertainment shapes the sport. Jake Paul brings a huge audience that boxing hasn't seen in years. Joshua brings credibility, history, and elite skill. Together, they create a spectacle that might not satisfy traditional fans, but definitely excites them.
Joshua back in the ring against anybody in December just to knock off some of the ring rust. Although I don't think even Joshua and his team would have thought that easy fight would end up being Jake Paul, and none of them probably thought this easy fight would end up being potentially the biggest payday of his career to date. This is Netflix truly flexing their muscles. They've made money talk and walk, and have pushed through really the impossible. There would have had to be serious coin to have made this happen. Enough coin to seemingly make AJ be okay with being the B-side. This fight is being promoted as Jake versus Joshua. What world are we living in where Anthony Joshua is the promotional B-side to Jake Paul? And although you might think Jake Paul is mad for taking this fight, that's exactly what they want you to think. It doesn't matter the quality of the actual fight, they want to simply make the most viral pairing possible to have the best chance at selling you a fight. Tyson Paul wasn't much of a fight, but the virality made tens of millions of people tune in, and here